Hello there guys and welcome, it is Niran here and today we're going to be in Aston Villa career mode action. That intro didn't make a huge amount of sense, but I think you get the general vibe. This is going to be episode 4 of our Aston Villa career mode on FIFA 14 and today we're going to be having two games. We've got another Premier League game against Newcastle, but before that we have a Carling Cup second round match up against Blackburn Rovers. But the first thing that will happen in this episode is that I get a scout report back on some young strikers about Timo Werner in particular and Mason Bennett. Now I went through that last episode and we made an offer for Mason Bennett of Derby. However, Timo Werner had recently joined, so I wasn't able to make an inquiry about him. We just get a Spanish scout report there, and I put Koke, who plays for Atletico Madrid, on my shortlist, or get him scouted further even. But as you can see here, Mason Bennett accepted that contract offer we put forward for him, and he is now an Aston Villa player. A very cheap signing, only $450,000 for a very promising young striker from Derby County, and I feel that he will probably develop into at least a high 70 stat player, if not low 80s. And here, as you can see, Kieran Clark is very relieved that I didn't just leave him on the subs bench. He was a bit paranoid about whether Jurez Akore would completely freeze him out of the starting 11. I've shown him that isn't the case by playing him. And as you can see, on deadline day, this was just a bit of a summary of what the teams were doing. In general, there wasn't a huge amount of activity from each player. Their Chelsea signing Salvatore Sirigu from PSG was quite cool. Fulham there with Al Ahmadi, Hull doing nothing. Liverpool bringing in Danny and Johan Kabaya, which I thought was very nice. Manchester United not doing anything. Man City only selling Edin Dzeko to Arsenal, so really not a huge amount of activity. A lot of these involve my team, to be quite honest. Spurs, they're signing Jefferson. Stoke selling Begovic, which was quite interesting. Sunderland as well brought in some cool players. I think it was Riyad Boudabou. No, not Sunderland. Someone brought in Riyad Boudabou and Juve. I think it may have been Sunderland. But as you can see there, just briefly, Joseph Bennett wanted to play in this Carling Cup game. And in this game, I decided to give a few people a chance because I realised that morale and, well, not necessarily fitness, but morale was low, really, and I needed to give some of these younger players or fringe players a chance in the team, in the starting 11. First thing I did was put Shay Given in goal. Mason Bennett would also feature, but he would be on the bench to start off with. In the end, I think I also put Jack Grealish on. He started the game along with Gary Gardner as well. There were a few young players on the bench there, as you can see. Bruma got a game as well, and Joseph Bennett started as he asked. Yakuba Silla, Mason Bennett and Helenius all on the bench. But as you can see, we're starting the game away against Blackburn Rovers at Ewood Park, and this would prove to be a tricky game in parts. As you can see there, we've got the first chance, a good ball in there, I think from Nathaniel Klein, and Benteke with the header, straight at Paul Robinson, no. Moments later, along the right-hand wing, again, Nzogbia puts the ball in, and on the volley, Benteke there with a nice strike, but Paul Robinson with a great save, and then catching it moments later. Grealish then with a great ball over the top, and the best chance of the match by far there, Benteke just firing it straight at Paul Robinson. I should have done better there. From that resulting corner, Nzogbia gets the ball, and another save there from Robinson. Again, I should have done better, and Grealish's follow-up shot was deflected agonisingly wide of Paul Robinson's goal. But moments later, Gary Gardner, fed in by Benteke, he gives the ball to Grealish, and he cuts inside and does that. Great finish there from the youngster. Great debut in the team for him. This is the first time I've ever played him, actually, and he's a very young and promising player, as you can probably tell from his number 53. Genuinely suggests that he's a very much fringe or youth player. And cutting inside, great finish with his right foot right into the bottom-hand corner, and that gave us a 1-0 lead. We did deserve it. We've been dominating completely. Now look at this move. Grealish to Westwood, into Benteke, back then to Nzogbia. He gives the ball to Bruma, back to Klein. He gives it to Bruma down the right-hand side, ripping them apart. The ball goes into Nzogbia. He turns, and on his left foot, it's saved by Paul Robinson. That would have been a brilliant team goal if that had gone in. But just before half-time, Alan Judge, the new signing from Notts County, sent down the wing. Joseph Bennett and Ron Blanc not able to handle it. It's headed out towards Kelvin Atuhu, and he really should have done better with the strike. Shay Given not troubled in the end, and that was actually the last action of the first half, and we went in at half-time 1-0 up. Away from home, this was a great performance. Gary Gardner then feeds in Christian Benteke. This was Actually, at a point where Blackburn was starting to dominate the game, he cuts inside and makes it 2-0. Really was against the run of play. I didn't really have any highlights of Blackburn making chances, but they did really dominate the possession in the first 20 minutes of the second half. But that made it easier for us. That gave us a 2-goal cushion, and Christian Benteke there for some reason apologising to the Blackburn fans. But it was a great ball over from Gary Gardner, another youngster having a great influence on the game. And Gary Gardner and Jack Grealish will definitely be featuring in more Premier League games in the future. But I decided to make some substitutions with the game, almost all but over. I decided to bring Nicholas Helenius, Yakuba Silla, and Mason Bennett all on. Bruma Benteke and I think Ashley Westwood were the people who came off. Later on, in the last 10 minutes of the game, Nzogbia there with a volley, which so almost went in. That was right. There was an alternate angle of that, which I forgot to put in, but that was so close. And then right at the end, I think Fraser Campbell there, with the chance, went round Shay Given, really should have made it 2-1. But that would have only been a consolation goal, because that was the last action of the second half. Blackburn, in the end, actually ending both halves with a great chance. Gary Gardner deservedly getting man of the match. Charles Nzogbia with a great rating as well, as did Jack Grealish, Ashley Westwood, Joseph Bennett as well, proving he was deserved of his place in the starting lineup, as well as Vlar, Okore, Klein, and Shay Given getting good ratings as well. As you can see, Mason Bennett did get a really shocking rating, but that was actually because he just didn't get on the ball much. After coming on with only 10 minutes to go. But as you can see, this is just a quick update on the squad report. Matthew Lowton and Joris Okore going up stats there. Ashley Westwood up 1 as well as Fabian Delph. Vyman now up to 75. That's 2 in one season so far. Backley up 1 as well since joining. Benteke as well. Mark Albright now up to 72. Kieran Clark, what the heck, up to 74. Helenius up 1 as well as Luna. Gary Gardner up to 69. Jordan Graham there, the young winger, he's up to 59 as well. Silla 69, Johnson up to 63, Bakuna up to 70, Grealish now up 2, Bennett up 1 since joining, which is interesting. He's now a 62 stat striker, as is Jordan Bowery. Nathan Baker, they're the centre-back, he's up 1, as well as Delfonso, Ender Stevens, Samir Carruthers, and a few of the other loanees as well. But now we move on to the second game of the episode, and this is against Newcastle in the Barclays Premier League. I have put the the difficulty. I have actually put the difficulty up. I forgot to mention that Blackburn game, which was actually our first win by more than 1 goal since I joined, which is weird. That's a weird stat. All our wins so far have been by 1 goal. Or we've just not won at all. But yeah, that was the first 2-0 win. That was actually on world class. This is on world class as well. We go back to our sort of standard starting 11. I was a bit nervous going into this one, to be honest, playing on world class in a fully fledged Premier League game. But this clip summed up the entire game. Newcastle flinging it up towards Papi Cisse and inevitably getting the shot away there. And it was an absolutely terrible start. A nothing challenge from Joris Okore just allowed Cheek Tiote to turn on his left foot and put it past Brad Guzan, who was in bad form apparently going into this game. And you can pretty much see it, to be honest. He didn't really make a huge amount of that shot. He probably could have done better, in fairness. But it was 1-0 to Newcastle after just 6 minutes. That first highlight really did sum up the game, but here a great chance as Benteke feeds to Nzogbia in acres of space, but he couldn't really get it onto any sort of favoured foot. And yeah, I basically just tried their tactic. Their tactic was really infuriating me, of just piling it forward. I had a go, and as you can see, just the stats here, very open game, very even game. 5 shots for us, 4 shots for them. We just edged possession, but the only stat that was really hugely different was shots on target. And as you can see there, Joris Okore with a life-saving challenge. That would have been 2-0 had he not got his foot on that. Benteke there cutting inside, and a great save from Tim Krul, and inevitably cleared by Davide Santon. This was such an open game. Chance for us, followed by chance for them. Sylvain Marveau, who caused carnage after coming on as a substitute there, with the ball in for Loic Remy. But in the last minute of the game, Benteke with an absolutely brilliant strike to save us a point. Just an incredible goal. Finesse shots, obviously OP. I took advantage of that, but even then I still didn't expect that to go in with the game Tim Krul had been having there. Just turning Stephen Taylor, and one heck of a finesse strike into the right-hand corner of the goal, and that made it 1-1, and that was literally the last highlight of the game. A life-saving goal, and a very dramatic one indeed from Christian Benteke. I thought he would be a very key player this season, and it turns out he was. There you can see the stats again. very even, but still Newcastle only had one shot on target, and that was the only shot for them that went in. So that was, on the balance of things, the only thing that was unbalanced, if you like. The rest of it was pretty even. As you can see, Christian Benteke got man of the match. Good ratings there for Del Bakkali and Jorez Okore as well. But I'm hoping you've enjoyed this episode of Career Mode. It's been very dramatic. A good win. Our first win by more than one goal against Blackburn in the Capital One Cup means we're into the third round now. And a good draw in the end, in the circumstances, against Newcastle. So like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Comment about enjoying it if you enjoyed it that much, or if you have any suggestions on how the right, okay, get my grammar sorted out. On how the series can be improved. There we go. It's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. Have a good day, and goodbye. Right, this is going to be the race. I can absolutely, categorically guarantee this will be... Oh, for crying out loud. This is... I give up. I actually give up.